All right, Rich Rossi here back at Festival Week, and that's Pete Allman that was talking to Mike Sorvino there. And Pete does a show called Celebrity Scene News, which is really good. He's interviewed, James Brown and Charlie Sheen.
Oh, cool.
And just to name a few, Paris Hilton. He's done some great stuff. So that's if you want to see that, Pete Allman on the scene, right, Pete? He doesn't want to talk about it. Okay. I guess he was talking about your dad that he interviewed. I'm sorry, what was that?
I hit baseballs with Charlie Sheen several years back. We had the same trainer, the same coach.
Oh, really?
Ken Medlock, yeah. And
he was hitting something else recently, right?
Charlie was a
but
wonderful guy to me, and he's, I wish him the very best. And he was a class act whenever we were together. So
no, I never met him. I met his dad, Martin, at a couple of events. But
a friend of my dad's,
yeah, but he seems like a nice guy, And
he's very nice.
I mean, the way he went on these interviews and bragged about how he was able to keep up with rock stars. Literally, I mean, like some of the heavy hitters, and I keep saying these words that are kind of alluding. Did you ever try to get out of that conversation? You step into it. Every word is like another word. That anyway, Charlie, if you're watching this, you're a wonderful guy, and
you're a hell of a hitter.
The hell of a hitter. Which baseball.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, it's nice seeing you after we saw you last year or a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's right. For our short film, the one that I co-directed called In the End.
In the End, and Dominica Scorsese was in that. Yes.
She was. Yes.
Yes, and I saw her. I saw her at the red carpet, and she said, "I'm doing this movie, Saving Little Italy," and she said, "Get Mike involved." So, she wanted me to get. So I'll get your contact info, and I will get you involved in that. We're going to be shooting in New York, and she's great. She's pregnant.
Terrific. That's right. And I think, sort of any day now.
She's, I think, getting married or something, or married. Oh, she's married. She's married. Wow. Yeah, she's. So we were trying to figure out what part she would play, and she said, "Well, you have to play a pregnant waitress or something." So now you also jump on the other side of the camera too. You act and you make films.
I do. I've been producing films for about 10 years, as well as acting, and I've been writing them. I've directed 2 shorts now, thinking about some other ones, perhaps. But mainly I've acted and written and produced. But directing is really interesting. It's really fun. You learn a lot about the other aspects of the trade and the industry from doing those. And I made a film with a guy who should be here actually momentarily, the producer of a short that
his ears are burning right now.
called No EV Trouble in Little China.
Oh.
We changed the name a couple of times. I have to remember what it was. With the fine actor James Hong.
Oh, okay.
He was Lopan in Big Trouble in Little China, and he's done like 300 things.
There's a joke there. I don't know if I should say that one, but all right. I'll leave that one alone. Now, you come from, of course, a family of everybody's involved. Was your mom involved in show business?
She was originally. My parents met in acting school, actually, in New York in the 60s. And she writes, musicals now, and has them performed at churches and with kids, and they're wonderful. And she's been a songwriter her whole life, and very, very artistic, and she's a visual artist as well. She paints.
Right. And Mira, I've never met Mira though. I met your dad. I've talked to your dad. I talked to him when he was going to New York. And interesting, quick story. Just I don't know. I thought you might get a kick out of it. Amanda's dog got shot 6 times.
Oh yeah.
I remember that?
Yes, I do remember. That was scary.
Eunice, right? Michael's sister's dog got shot. So I was at I was talking to somebody from the Inquirer, and he asked if we could run that story. I said, no, I got to check with Paul. So I talked to Paul Sorvino. I said, Paul, and he says, look, I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't want to, your dad, right? Yeah. But I talked to Amanda, and she did. So actually, they did run the story with her consent and his consent. So it says, what is it? Star of Goodfellas' dog got shot 6 times and lived.
Let me tell you.
So it was actually a great story. But it did run in the Inquirer, and your dad was nice enough to let that story go. And of course, Amanda used that to promote.
Dog, let me tell you, and he's a nice dog too. He's a very nice dog. He wouldn't hurt a fly, but he is tough. I mean,
6 times shot and lived
in the stomach and in the leg, and his leg was all shattered. And now he's walking almost normally again.
What a crazy story. And he's still doing well.
Oh, he's been doing wonderfully. The whole family's obsessed with him. They literally come up with songs about him. They, meaning my sister and her daughter, Biz, they make up songs about Eunice. He's
a bit of a legend.
Yeah,
There's just so many things to talk to you. We could do a whole show on you, I tell you. Now, you did a show. I remember your dad talking about a show called Cali meeting.
It's a feature film, actually. We just premiered it at Sedona.
And that had all the family. Mira Sorvino was in it. Paul Sorvino, you, Michael Sorvino.
In it.
Was Amanda in that as well?
Amanda wrote it, and she actually composed and played the music for it on the piano. I produced it, my father directed it, and my father, myself, and Mira all acted in it. Yeah. And it's quite a wonderful piece. It's a different kind of a film. It's very intense. It's a tragic comedy, but it's actually.
Your dad plays quite a reach. He plays he plays a gay fellow in there, or something.
He plays a police lieutenant detective of the metropolitan area of New York, who's a closet homosexual, who's a frustrated conductor at heart.
I'm glad you said that, because they would have thought I was going for some cheap shots to promote the project.
And he's actually composing in the story an operetta with the next door neighbor called Homo Sapien.
Oh, wow.
So it's an interesting one.
It's a comedy, no doubt.
We're getting ready to roll that out, and we're tweaking it a little bit more now after the festival, but the response was very good. Mm-hmm. The people who liked it loved it, and it's a very visceral film. It's brutal at times, but it's also strangely funny. Wow. And we've worked on it for a long time. We're very proud of it and excited to get it out.
You've been really busy. I mean, you've been doing a lot of stuff. You're bouncing back from New York to here and working on film. And you're in a film with your dad now in New York.
Yeah, just a little part in this movie.
And that's called
Last I Heard.
Is that a studio film, or is it?
It's an independent, directed and written by Dave Rodriguez, a fine director and writer and a friend of ours. And I played my father's doctor in one scene.
That's great.
And I just flew back now for this. But
you said in that movie you don't give him a good bill of health, but in life he's doing very well.
He's doing well, thanks. Thank God.
Wow. Yeah. Well, it's so much fun to talk to you. We have a little gift for everyone to give you. This is it's Cinema Verte. Did I pronounce that correct? And it's with Diane Lane and Tim Robbins and James Gabbaty. And they're promoting it. It's actually with HBO. They're promoting it. And they want to give a gift to you for.
I heard of this, actually.
Yeah, so it's one of their first TV shows. So
thank you so much.
So we want to give that to you as a little gift for joining up today. So thank you so much, Mike. On behalf of Festival Week, I'm with Mike Sorvino, and it's been a lot of fun talking to you guys. And boy, I'm telling you, he's a busy guy. I think you just got to go look at the program guides and see what movie's playing where, and he's probably in it. So thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate it. All right, see you guys. All right.